Hi, what's up? It's Sila. Now I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty pissed right now. I recorded this like an hour ago, and the audio part of the recording corrupted, so I had to re-record this entire thing. The video's still here, but I'm pretty much re-recording the audio part, doing voiceover on this again. So I'm pretty pissed now. So apologies for my words or language or whatever. Anyways, this is probably one of the most broken glitches I have ever posted. So I would definitely recommend you watch this fully, because there's actually two glitches related to this. The first one is about raiding, and the second one is about PvP, both using the same mechanics. However, they are slightly different, and they are definitely useful in different scenarios. So I would definitely recommend you watching the entirety, because the second one is probably gonna shock you. It shocked me as well. But when I was recording this, I have no idea that was actually a thing, and I thought that wasn't possible. So that was why. It was pretty weird. I recorded this first part, and then I was like, wait, hold up, that could also work. So I then went on to test that one, and then I tested it live on the recording, and apparently it worked. So I kind of cut off like here and there. The whole thing was originally like 45 minutes long, which I don't think you guys are interested in watching that long. So yeah, I kind of trimmed it, and here is what I've got. So enjoy. So here is what you are seeing, I guess. A raft and a bunch of building mats. So how exactly does this thing work, I guess? So normally what you want to do is, if you're, say, raiding a base, you would be placing, I guess, structures. So you'd be placing like foundations, ceilings, walls, and doorways. Jeez. Doorways. And you would be placing all of these pretty much just, I guess, forward. And yeah, you're building like a sort of a sausage structure. And what you can do is you can just place doorways here, and then you can raft into people's space. Very simple concept. Now, obviously, this is not something we're trying to accomplish, because we're trying to do it underwater. We're trying to raid underwater bases. So having this structure above water on a raft isn't going to do shit. So, what can you do? So I'm going to quickly demolish this. Yeah, I accidentally killed my raft back then. So I'll cut to the part where I actually get my raft back. Right, so the raft is back. I can actually continue showcasing this glitch, I guess. Jesus Christ. Alright, so this is what you want to do. You want to place a foundation, and then you want to place a ceiling. And then you want to build all the way downwards using a pillar. Now I'm gonna like pretty much just speed forward this part. So all you have to do, right, is just build straight down using pillars all the way down to pretty much until it like hits structure cap, and then you like kind of destroy like 4 or 5 structures above. You've seen a bit. So pretty much this, because there's a structure cap on, you know, the actual raft, you can't do this like too far. So if bases are like really far, which underwater caves are, obviously you can't, you know, pull this method off. And obviously if you build so many pillars, the structure that you're going to build at the bottom is also going to be severely limited by a lot, because of all the structure cap here. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna speed forward this part, because I am definitely sure none of you guys are interested in seeing me building for the next 10 minutes. Alright, we're back. I accidentally muted my mic for a bit too long. Right, anyways, so what you is seeing here is pretty much the structure. So you want to place 2 sinks at the pillars, and then you want to place a foundation directly next to one of the pillars, or one of the ceilings that is snapped to a ceiling that is snapped on a pillar. So if you get the right snap point, just try it a bit, and then you will be able to see that you can actually snap a foundation to the ceiling, and that is exactly what it should look like. So if you get that, you succeeded, and you can continue. And yeah, before you couldn't place a structure there because of foundation, and now you can. So you can actually use this method to, I guess, expand the platform a bit, and you can also build all the way at the back. Now again, you obviously need to have some foundation support, so you either have some foundation on your raft or you have some foundation down here. So yeah, you also need to snap the foundation next to the pillar if you want to do this, and you can actually place foundations all the way along this line. You can build to the side as well, but that is not necessary for this glitch, so I'm not going to show it. If you guys want to experiment with it, go ahead. Anyways, this is the part where this glitch is actually pretty broken, right? This is a pretty normal structure. You will still hit structure cap, although it will take probably a bit longer. You will still hit structure cap, and if you do, you're fucked. So that's not something you're interested in. What you want to do is you want to actually demolish this pillar, and as you can see right here, that structure is absolutely fine. That should not be fine, actually, because according to basic understanding of physics, or science actually, that thing should be falling to the ground because there is nothing to support it anymore. So I'm just gonna speed forward a bit and go above the water and demolish the pillar all the way up here. And when this is demolished, you can still see that although there is not a single pillar connecting the raft and the structure here, this structure is apparently still floating in the water. 100 meters down in the ocean. So this is pretty much the basic of the glitch. Now this thing actually moves, by the way. It doesn't just stay here when the raft moves away. So that is the most broken part of this glitch. Now I'm pretty sure some of you guys have already can tell what's going on and what this glitch is. You can't. You probably only thought about half the glitch, because the first half of the glitch is pretty standard, using this to actually raid a base. And I'm going to tell you guys special techniques that would help you a lot if you're using this method to raid a base. And I'm also going to cover how to counter this method, because yeah, I'm trying to cover more counters in my video as well. There have been many suggestions saying I should do counters, because you guys can't think of any. Anyways, simply build downwards again. Yeah, I'm going to fast forward this part again. I'm going to build all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, and I guess I'll just go from there and show you guys how this actually works in if you're trying to raid a legit base, or I don't know, a vacuum compartment. Alright, we're all the way at the bottom. This time I actually managed to unmute my mic in time. Right. So, yeah, pretty much just do the exact same thing. Now you have to be a bit lower this time. I'm just gonna show you, because I demolished so many pillars above and I made a full floating structure. I am pretty much able to build this structure all the way down to pretty much the depth of the ocean. This is the literal bottom of the ocean, the absolute bottom of the ocean. So yeah, again, you can build this structure, very simple. Just kind of snap foundations to the side of the pillar. I actually screwed up here. You don't do that. Place that pillar back. Make sure you place 2 foundations on either side before you actually do this, or else you would be facing a lot of trouble. You have to spend a lot of time doing that. So yeah, pretty much at the absolute bottom of the ocean right now. You can demolish the pillars above, absolutely fine. Again, I'm going to slow-mo all the way up there and demolish it, just to show you guys that this thing can exist without any pillar supports, or pillars actually, without a single pillar. Alright, so pillars demolished. If you go all the way down there, I'll still keep the structure. Oh, by the way, you can actually have 2 of these structures side by side, or above and below, so you can actually have a few people using this method to raid a base at once. So I guess that's I don't know, extra salt on the wound, because you can get wiped 4 times the speed if people are using 4 different tubes in this method. Because of the structure cap, you can probably place a lot more of these tubes, a lot more than what you want to see inside your base. Alright, so we're back at the bottom. One of these interesting structures, again, I'm going to quickly build it again. Pretty much, this is pretty much how you build a normal racer or plesiosaur or a raft. Now, what is different is you actually want to place as many of these gateways, not gateways, door frames as possible, and place as many doors as possible to make chambers. Because the fact is, if you don't place any of these doors, you will have like a whole corridor here, like 5 ceilings wide, that if your trimate accidentally mesh you into one of these turrets, you will get shot by turrets and probably instantly die because you're underwater. So this is slightly different because your trimate is all the way up like at the surface, and they have no clue where the heck the base is, the base that they're trying to go. They're probably like, you know, running off directions that your trimates are telling them. So definitely place a few of these structures, and you also would like to have some of a either have a bench or a chair, because you need to you need to sit down while they're driving, because if you don't, you probably will get thrown off midway, and yeah, that's not really fun if you're trying to raid a base this way. So after they pop you to the right location, then you kind of just open these doors and place some C4 on the hatch frames or the death wall, whatever, and then blow your way in. Now, the interesting part about this thing, you actually don't need to blow through the death walls, because the raft is above water, meaning what you can do is you can actually drive straight into someone's base. You can drive straight into someone's base without having to blow up the wall. You probably will get shot by turrets one or few times, and you have to tank those shots, but you can actually drive straight into someone's base without tanking, just because that your structure doesn't really count as a structure. And while you are like while you're sitting down on a chair, you also don't count as like a structure, so you won't get glitched out, and you can actually go straight into someone's base because the raft is above water. So if you're raiding some underwater caves, this is probably the best method out there right now. And also, this is the worst method, obviously, if you're living in an underwater cave. Probably move out. I don't know, if Valka doesn't patch it in like a day, you should probably move out of an underwater cave. But before you raid an underwater cave, if you don't want to bypass turrets, if you actually want to like drop people's vacuums, here's what you would do. Let's say this is a vacuum someone else built, right? So this is like a random vacuum that someone have in front of their base. What you want to do is have your trimate actually die right above the vacuum. Now, you can't place heavies on it, and I'm not going to power the vacuum just to place heavies, right? I'm not asked to do that. Imagine there's a few heavies there. Just use your imagination, there's a few heavies there. Have your trimate go above the heavy, kill themselves, respawn on the raft, and then they will have a green beam shooting all the way up to the sky border where they can navigate with the green beam, so they know exactly how to place it. This is one of the most important tip I can give you. Use the green beam for your trimate above, because if they don't, they probably have no clue where they are. Now, I don't even know if the green beam will render, but that is probably your best chance. You need some kind of beacon if you want to have your trimates be able to tell where they're actually going. Or I guess you can also have like a third trimate, you know, somewhere on the right or left side, or just behind your structure, and then they can tell your trimates above that's, you know, driving the raft where to go. Oh, and also you can use one of these hatch frames, place them directly under and above your structure, so you can just open these trapdoors and shoot a tech rifle through. I'll show you guys in a bit when I actually move this thing a bit. Right now I'm pretty sure it's line of sight by the foundations, but if I actually move it a bit, I will show you guys that you can actually move it, by the way. I'm not gonna like bluff that you can move it and not actually show you guys, but yeah, you can actually move this thing, and I will be showing you just a second. Yeah, I just want to show you guys this is pretty much where you would want your trimate to, I guess, die. I don't know, just shoot them with the crossbow, whatever, and then they'll die here, respawn back at the raft, and they'll be able to pretty much yeah, drive you to your desired location and drop raft. I need some water, give me a second. Alright, so I'm back. So yeah, I will be showing you guys that I can actually move that structure and not just fucking pulling words out of my ass. I will be going all the way above. I will probably be going into slow-mo soon. I have no clue why I actually didn't go into slow-mo here. Forgive me for that. But yeah, anyways, I'm out of slow-mo right now, going back to my raft, and I will be driving a bit forward to show you guys that you can actually move it. Now, if you have any sort of memory, you would remember the approximate location of where the raft was compared to, or the structure actually, the structure that stems from the raft was compared to the actual vacuum. I moved like 4 raft, four raft far, and then yeah, and I guess we'll see how much the structure actually moved and whether it moved or not. So if you go all the way down over here, you can see that the structure has indeed moved. Again, if you have any sort of memory, you would remember that the structure origin was there, you know, behind the vacuums. And right now it actually moved and it's currently in front of that vacuum. And you can actually shoot the vacuum from all the way over here. Now, again, this is not, you know, the perfect place for the raft to be, but because I have no indication and no one to tell me where the heck I am, I can't actually go directly to the vacuum. So this is also, you know, there's like, when I was like above water, I have no indication of where I am. So I guess this is like, you guys probably saw that I was shooting some tech rifles, and that tech rifles I think hit the vacuums. I'm pretty sure they did hit the vacuums, yeah. So yeah, you can pretty much just blow up a vacuum using that method. And if you're like facing a death wall, let's say this is your structure that you're working with and someone have a death wall behind me at where I am there, what you want to do is pretty much the exact same, but instead you don't actually need a tech rifle. Obviously you can't see for a vacuum, that is a very, very retarded idea. You can't see for, however, you can see for those death walls. So if people have a death wall here, you can just ram this structure straight into a death wall and then place some C4 and blow it up. So I would say that is probably the most like useful method if you're trying to raid like a death wall instead of actually going into base. Right, so that is the first part done. Now actually let me get into the second part. This is a part where I think is going to be very interesting. So pretty much I just showed you guys that you can't place a generator underwater, or at least you can place it but it doesn't work, right? However, what does work is you can actually place an auto turret on this structure all the way underwater. And mind you, this structure moves. If you guys still remember that this structure actually moves, so you can have like a moving structure here. Now, how are you supposed to power a turret without a generator? I think the answer is pretty clear. You should probably be using a battery. Right, so I will be building these ceilings right here first, just to show you guys that you can actually, you know, place all these ceilings over here and you can actually fit quite a few structures, you know, quite a few heavies over there. And yeah, I got a batteries right here, and I will be placing the battery in the turret. As you can see right here, the turret does indeed power. So this means that you can have a powered battery underwater while you have a structure that is nearly indestructible and cannot be hit by any sort of dinos, does not have a generator where people can blow up, and a moving structure where there are turrets that is actively shooting into whatever, like, you know, dinos you are. This thing can also be parked in the mesh, mind you, because this thing doesn't have any boundaries. This thing does not have a raft as like the actual hitbox, because the raft is all the way above water. So as long as the place above water, like above your base, is clear, this can literally be in the mesh, shooting out of the mesh into your base. This structure right here. Again, this is probably one of the easiest method to mesh, because you sit inside your chair and then just swim this into the mesh, dismount, and boom, you're in the mesh. Simple as that. No hassle whatsoever. I'm not even going to, like, you know, demonstrate this part over here, because that is so stupid. I definitely know it works, and I think all of you would know as well. But what I just want to say is, you probably don't need the extra structure on that side. You can probably demolish all of these structures as well, and you can replace them all with auto turrets. So you can line like 10 auto turrets all the way along the structure, and yeah, you're pretty much invincible. Like for real, what are people going to do? Like, honestly, what can people do? Like, I've said that actually I haven't, because this was the re-recording I said in the original recording. Anyways, the best way to counter rafts is to the best way to counter this type of raft is to actually kill the raft itself, which is above water, because the thing is, there's no way you're killing this structure if people know what they're doing. It takes one person to be in this structure to pretty much tell people what they should go, and it takes another one to pilot this structure all the way above the thing, all the way above on land. So you can't really just kill the rider and call it a day, right? I don't think, now I'm not sure if seeking water mines will seek this thing, but what I can say is, if you're like living in an underwater base right now and after you see this video, go back to your water base immediately and place a few of those seeking water mines above your base. So if people are on rafts, they will be hit by those seeking mines. And make sure you have some parasols up there, probably some raft of your own, so you will instantly be able to counter them if they're trying to pull off this method. Again, best counter to this method up to right now, like the best method I can literally think of right now, is to kill the raft, because the structure here is literally a raft, so you can't place C4 on it, so it's not like you can just swim up there and C4 it. The best way you can do is rocket, which doesn't work underwater, mind you, so you have to be above ground, shooting into the water, into the structure, and praying that none of these turrets actually shoot the rocket, and you're good. It's not like you can just run to the raft and rocket it as well, because it is probably constantly moving and like half a meter above water or half a meter below water. So yeah, definitely one of the most broken methods out there. If you have any counters or any ideas for counters, make sure you leave them in the comment, because I am very interested in hearing what you guys have to say about this method, how you would counter them. Because let's face it, probably people will be using this against your base if you live in a fat underwater base, say mushroom or pearl cave on center. Can you mesh? I don't know if this is like possible for pearl cave on center, but I don't know for any island cave. If you live in any pearl cave on island, or if you live in mushroom cave on rat and rock, this method is probably going to kick your ass. Just saying. Now, I don't know how effective this method actually is. Obviously, I have not used it before because I only play single player, so it's not a lot of place for me to use it. But don't know how like actually useful this method is. But from what I can tell, I would say that this method is probably on the more broken side. A moving raft underwater that is impossible to destroy by any dino, and that can shoot ammo from its body. And on top of that, the last thing, you can also freaking open this door and just place C4 in people's base and just blow into people's base. Or you can just, not even do that, just get in your chair and have your trimate literally swim you through the death wall, because there's no collision whatsoever. You can literally swim through someone's death wall with this method. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. But yeah, again, that's like pretty much all I have for today. I definitely hope this video is informative for you, and I'll see you all legends in the next one. Peace out. Also, try not to get wiped.